Hi all, welcome back. This is my part 4 video, and here we will discuss on the creation of the Kubernetes cluster on the EKS, AWS Elastic Kubernetes Services, right? In our last video, we have discussed about the GKE, Google Kubernetes Engine. Both are the working as a platform as a service, which is GKE provided by the Google, and EKS is provided by the AWS. So we have already discussed this demo in last video for the GKE, and in this demo, in this video, we will discuss on the AWS EKS. Let's go to the agenda today. This agenda for today, we will create IAM role, which is required for the EKS. And after that, we need one dedicated VPC. So we will create a VPC using the AWS CloudFormation, using the template. And after this two prerequisite, we will start creation of the EKS cluster. And after that, we will create a client on AWS Ubuntu instance. And at last, after creating that master nodes, we will create the worker nodes. So, and when we will create the worker node, then our creation of cluster will be completed. Then we will deploy one application here. And after we will test that application on the Kubernetes EKS. And after that, at the last, I will explain what is the process for the deleting all those things. You can see here, all those things it's covered in the AWS documentation, which is given URL below. So let's move to the next slide, where we need to create the IAM roles. So first role we will create for the EKS cluster, and second role we need to create for the EKS worker nodes. So let's go to the AWS console and create the IAM roles. I'm logging to the AWS console here. Now you can see here, we need to open the IAM. Go to the roles. And here we have only 3 roles currently. Now I'm creating one role here for the EKS cluster. And here you need to select the service EKS and EKS cluster. You can see here EKS, you will get it here, and EKS cluster. And now go to the next permission. And here we will select the default policy, which is coming here, and we will move to the next. Tag is optional, so I'm moving to the next one. Now it is asking for the role name. So I am giving this role EKS cluster role, and I am putting it here, EKS cluster role. Right now I'm creating this role. This role is created, you can see here, and I am now creating another role. This role is for service EC2. It is our worker nodes. But here we need to select some policies like EKS. I'm selecting it, searching it here, EKS. First, we need to select Amazon EKS CNI policy. And second one, EKS worker node policy. This one. And after that, we need to search container registry. Container registry read-only access. You can see here. Now I'm moving to the next, review it, and putting the name of EKS worker nodes. Right. This is the name I'm putting here. EKS worker nodes node role, right? And I'm creating role here. Now you can see both roles are created here. Now we have done from the IAM side. Now move to the next slide, where we need to create a VPC using the AWS CloudFormation. So let's open the AWS CloudFormation. You can see here. I'm creating a stack here. And we are selecting template is ready, and I will select its Amazon S3 URL. So I have added here one URL that will create template URL. Now we are moving in the next. And here you can see stack name. We need to enter one stack name. So I am taking EKS VPC stack. And this is showing the IP address. So we are going for the default one, and we are moving it. And we don't need to change anything, and just go to the next. We are going with default one. Here is the review for that things, and we just go and create this stack. So it is creation in progress. It will take time around 10 minutes. So meanwhile, we are moving to the next slide. You can see here, after that VPC created, we will create the EKS cluster. And for that, we need to open that Elastic Kubernetes services and create the cluster. So we will follow this step when this our VPC will be created through CloudFormation. So I'm pausing this video for 5 to 10 minutes until it is created. Now you can see this is a CloudFormation stack creation is completed. If I open this stack, you can see here it is showing status creation complete. And you can see which event is completed here. You can see this event is completed. And after that, you can see resources here. That is, it is completed. You can see here it is created, and we just need to check the VPC. You can see VPC is created. So let's go and check the VPC. I'm opening in the different tab. You can see, we can see now two VPC. One is default VPC and one VPC we have created here. You can check here. This VPC is created by the CloudFormation stack. This name is there, right? VPC. We have got this VPC, and it is created the subnet also and route table, internet gateway, everything. We got this 4 subnets, and we can put the filter here for VPC, and we will get it how many subnets we have. You can see here we have 4 subnets here, right? and same it is created on route table, and you can put filter over VPC, so you can see this is route tables and internet gateway. It will create the one internet gateway. I am putting filter for VPC ID. This one, you can see this one is created, right? So VPC is created. So now we are good to create the cluster. Go to that one, EKS cluster, go to Elastic Kubernetes Service. I'm just going here and searching. You can see this service is there and opening in the different window. Now you can see EKS, right? You can see here in the current, we don't have any cluster here. So you just go and create the cluster. So it is asking for the cluster name. So I'm just giving this name EKS cluster. And this is showing the Kubernetes version default is 1.18. And you can see here, so this is role. This is auto-populated role because we have created earlier this EKS cluster role, right? Same role is selected here. And now I'm moving to the next option. You can see it is showing the VPC. So we need to select that VPC which we have created, right? And you can see 4 subnets is showing for that VPC. You can see here, same thing. And in the security group, we need to select that security group which is created in this CloudFormation also. So I'm selecting this security group. Okay. Okay. Then this is a cluster endpoint access, the 3 options. So I will use here the public and private. And next you can see here, this is a version of the VPC CNI. So I will not change anything here. This will go with default option. And you can see here, this is a login for this API server, audit, authenticator, control manager, and scheduler. These are the component for the Kubernetes. So for demo purpose, I will not enable any logs here. So just going to the next, and you can see the summary for that, whatever you have selected. So you can see VPC, you have selected the newly created security group for the same. And just we are good to create the cluster. Now I'm creating the cluster here. Now cluster creation is started. Once it will create, we will get this API server endpoint, OpenID, certificate authority. We will get each and everything once it will create it. So let's wait. It is status is showing it is creating, right? And you can see in the overview here, I'm just refreshing it. Still it is creating. So let's wait. It will take some time for creating. So I'm pausing again this video until it will create it. Yeah, now you can see that cluster is created and you can see status is showing active. I'm opening this cluster. You can see here, we got that API server endpoints, OpenID, URL, and certificate authority. We got everything. And you can see in the compute here, if the node group is showing 0, because we have created only for the master node for that, and we need to create the nodes for that, right? But before that, we need to create one client machine for accessing this Kubernetes cluster. So you can see here, we have done this step, creation of the EKS cluster. Now next step, we need to creation of the client, and we'll use AWS Ubuntu instance for that, right? So I am going to the console and opening the EC2. You can see here, it is run, no instance is running. I'm just see. So I'm creating one instance that is for Ubuntu 18.0, because I have used my all demo in Ubuntu server 18.04. Then selecting it, and you can see I'm selecting this D2 micro and going with default setting, and I'm giving the name of this server is the client. I'm giving name here client, and security group. I'm selecting the all open ports and launching this instance, right? You can see I'm using the key pair and Virginia and launching the instance, right? It will take some time. Meanwhile, we are discussing in that client machine. So in this client machine, what we need to install, we need to first install AWS CLI. That is, we need to some command for that. So we need to install this thing. And after CLI, we will test either we can access this or not. After that installation of that, we need to install the IAM authentication. So this is the process we will follow here. After authentication installation, we will install the kubectl utility. And after this installation on the client machine, we need to configuration the client AWS Ubuntu instance, and we will configure our cluster in that client machine. And after that, we will get the kubectl config file, and we will export that config file to the client machine. After exporting this option, we are able to connect to the Kubernetes master node, and we can check this command for kubectl. So this thing we need to run on the client machine. Let's check whether we have it is completed, created or not. Let's see and log in that instant. It is running, and let's copy, connect it. So I will use the Git Plus for connecting it. My PAM file is in a download folder, so I'm going there and running it. Now I have successfully connected to the server. I'm taking sudo access. Now you can see here AWS command is not working here. So we need to install the AWS CLI, and we will follow this process. Now first we need to update the packages. After that, we will apt install AWS CLI. And we can check the version. You can see here it is completed. Now check the version of AWS. You can AWS CLI. You can see it is showing this version. So now next step we need to configure AWS configure. Now it is asking for the AWS access key ID. So we need to take it from the console. We can directly take from this place my security credentials. You can see here it is showing here. So we need to generate the keys, security key credential here. Now we need to generate the key here. Create new access key. If you want to keep the file credential for the future, you can download files. And you want to show here directly. I am copying it from here. See it. I am giving this. Now it is asking for secret access key. This one. It is asking for the region. You can see we are using in the North Virginia, and this is US East one. And default output we don't require. It's okay. Now we have corrected, configured that this thing. Now next step we can see here. We can test the list of users directly from the IAM. We can fetch it. See, you can. We are getting the output. Now we can check currently users. It is showing IAM user root, right? We are accessing because we have given the access key and password for the root user, so it is showing this thing. So now we are connected, and AWS CLI is installed successfully. So move to the next step. Now we need to install the IAM authentication. First, we need to download the AWS EKS banded binary from the Amazon S3. And all those installation, I've referred this documentation, so I mentioned in the last here. You can see, go and see the installation step for the other servers, right? So I'm just copying this command first and running it here. Let me enlarge it. This is installing, right? Next step, apply execute permission to the binaries. Next, copy the binary folder to the home path. And next, this part to the environmental variables. Now we need to test whether it is working or not. Now it is working because we are getting the help, right? So we have successfully installed that IAM authentication. Now next step is we need to install the kubectl utility. And I have added here in the last, this is AWS documentation where I've referred this thing directly. You can directly go to URL and check it. So again, we are downloading the same thing from the S3. And giving the executable access. And copy the binary to a folder in the home path. Now we need to test the kubectl. Now it is we have got that it already successfully installed kubectl. Now we have done 2 steps. Now next step is we need to configure our cluster to this client machine. If we run this command kubectl get service, it is not connected, so we are not getting any services here. So we need to configure this one. You can see here I'm AWS EKS. I'm passing the region, that's the US East one, and update kube config name is, our cluster name is EKS cluster. Let me show you. Yeah, EKS. You can see here our cluster name. Let me here. EKS cluster. Which whatever name we can put here, same name should be here because we are connecting to this cluster, right? So you can see here we are getting the output like this one, right? So after that, you need to check the config file. You can see it is showing config file path is here. Oh, sorry. More, right? You can see we are able to see the config file over here. Now we need to export kube config. It is exported, right? Now we will again check the service kube config SVC. You can see it is showing the cluster Kubernetes cluster IP, which is showing connected with the, that master node. So, but here we need to check the nodes, how many nodes are attached. Let me check. kubectl get nodes. You can see here no resource found default namespace, right? Also, you can run this namespace command. You can say we have currently 4 namespaces created, but still we don't have any nodes. We are successfully connected to the master node, that is this one, and this master node is totally maintained by the AWS system, so it is chargeable. AWS charging for this cluster creation. So we have done from this place. After that, we need to create the worker node, because you can see here we don't have any worker node is showing here. kubectl get nodes, right? So for creating the worker nodes, so we need to come here in the cluster, and in the compute tab you can see node groups. Nothing is there, right? So we need to add node group here, right? So it is showing node group name, right? So in the PPT, I have given this name. You can give any name here, and a role for that we have already created one role in the starting of this demo, EKS worker node role. So I'm selecting this role, and after that role, nothing is here. Okay, let's move to the next, because we are going with default one. And here you can see it is creating the MI tab, Amazon Linux 2, and it is showing for T3 medium, and which is 2 CPU and 4 GB. So we can go with that one, or we can take any other one, right? But T2 micro is not there, which is free tier, so it is chargeable here again. So how many nodes we are creating, it is chargeable, right? So here you can see it is a scaling group which configuration is there. Minimum node we can define here, maximum we can define, and desired state. So it is a configuration thing. So, but for this demo, I am just leaving it for the 2. So you can see here, it is showing the subnets which selected for this VPC, that is by default, and you can see SSS key pair we can select is same, which I've used earlier, North Virginia, right? So this is the key pair I mentioned here in this document, because we need to connect to the node. That time we require this key pair, right? I'm moving to the next, and this is the summary of whatever is selected. So it will create a 3 medium 2 system, 2 nodes with 3 medium, right? So I'm just creating this. So its creation is progress. We can check this progress in the EC2 instance. Here you can see this is our client machine, and after some time we will get 2 machines, 2 T3 medium here, because this is we have created for the client 32 micro. I'm just refreshing again. Maybe we'll get, but still it is taking time maybe. So let's check what is happening here. You can see I'm clicking on the cluster again and compute. You can see here it is creating. So let's open that one and let's check. It is still in the creation mode, right? So we can see status is creating. So it will take time. Let me check the EC2 instant here, EC2. You can see here it is creating the T3 medium instance over here, and it is a running state, but still in initialize. It will take some time for creating those instances. Now you can see it, 2 instance 3T medium is created successfully here. So let's give the name node 1 for this one, and for this one we can give the node 2, right? And we can see here also, we can see this status is showing active, right? Now to in the cluster group, I'm showing you again. You can see here this group node groups is active, and desired size is 2, right? So if you go inside that thing, you can see it is a T3 medium instance, AMI, size, and status is active. It is showing the Kubernetes version 1.1. We have selected is starting, right? And you can see here showing for the minimum size, maximum size, desired size by auto scaling things. And this is a subnet which is showing over here, and it's a key which is selected in Virginia. At creation time, you can see here, and this is a node group ARN, right? So now we are good for the node side, and we have created this successfully 2 nodes. Now move to the next one. Again, on the client machine, we need to check whether we are able to see that nodes or not, right? You can see here, I'm going there, kubectl get nodes. You can see we are able to see now 2 nodes, right? And name is showing something, IP address is showing over here. So let's verify whether this is our server or not, right? In the EC2 instance, you can see here, I'm selecting this node 2, it is showing IP address 168.108.198. You can see here. And second, if I select this node 1, you can see this IP address 7.184. You can see here, right? Same, it is EC2 instance is showing over here, right? And it is showing status is ready state. So we have successfully connected the node to the master server, right? Now for the testing the application, we need to deploy some thing in the Kubernetes. So we will do what we will do. We will use some YML file, and we will take YML file from the my GitHub repository. So this is the GitHub. So let me open this GitHub repository over here. You can see this is my GitHub repository, and you can see here it is a KS at S folder is there where we have services. Under services we have multiple YML. So we will use here here I think in services in K8 we have selected one not application. So we will take not application, and just for LB things we will deploy not LB and Mongo LB, right? Mongo LB and not LB YML file we use. So we will take this one. So what I will do, I will take I will clone this to my local repository. Sorry, I will clone indirectly on my client machine. Sorry. So in the client machine, you can see here we are here root folder. So I'm doing here git clone, right? This repository I'm cloning on the client machine. So you can see here we got this YML file, right? So you can see it is showing K8. And we need to take not application, right? You can see here it is showing 4 files over there. YML file is there. So what I will do, I will explain first this YML file, then we will execute it. First one is Mongo lb.yml file. You can see here it is showing in the Kubernetes YML file, which there are 4 key parameters are there: API version, kind, metadata, and specification, right? So you can see kind is showing it is deployment file, and specification it is showing template specification containers. This is image name is showing Mongo, right? It is showing the container port here. And in the second portion, it is showing the services for the Mongo. And this service is running on the cluster IP. Actually, 3 type of services Kubernetes is using: cluster IP, node port, and load balancer. Cluster IP we are using for the internal communication. So it is for DB database thing, so it will not accessible from the outside, but other container, other pods can use this services, right? So this is cluster type. You can see here type is cluster IP for this service. So when we will run this, execute this command, then it will create one service as well as it will create one deployment. And you can see here replication set is 1, it will create a 1 pod only. So let's execute first this one, right? This is kubectl apply -f mongo lb -yl. So kubectl get all. You can see here it is created one service mongo, type is cluster IP, right? And no external port, right, for that. And you can show it is created one deployment, and this is one of one, it is ready. And it is deployment is created one replica set, that is create one desired state and one current state, one ready state, right? Because you have selected one at a time. And it will, this one will create a one pod over there, and pod name is this one, and it is showing 1/1 it is running, right? So this thing it is successfully things. If you want to see the pod where it is created in which nodes, we can check it out. kubectl get pods -o_white. You can see it's pod it created on this IP, this node, and this is the pod IP which is getting. So next things, we will deploy one more YML file into Kubernetes. This is node.lv. In node.lv, I'm just opening it. You can see here it contains the two things. One deployment file is there where its name is node, and it is using the image for the Node.js 1.0. And you can see here it is using one service, and service is using the type is load balancer. It is also to find the node port 30,000 over there. So when we will run it, it will create one service named node and one deployment in one deployment and deployment set with replica 1, right? So let's deploy it. To deploy it successfully, now check get on. You can see here service node is created and type is load balancer. So it will give one external IP. It will take a few minutes for giving the external IP. This IP we can directly access, and it is also providing the node port IP. We can access through node port IP also. And it's created one deployment, and it created one replica set. Not this is the one desired one, current one, ready one. So, and it will create one pod which is running. We can see it, check it out where this, which node it is created. We can run this command. You can see here both nodes are running on the same pod, same nodes, right? Here you can see, and this is the pod IP for the node, right? So deployment has been successfully. Now we need to test it. For testing, just go to the slide. You can see actually we will not get still the external IP. We can check those things with. Let me see again. I'm clearing it and check here. kubectl get all. We can see we can guard the external IP host name, right? DNS name, we got it. So we need to check it status ns lookup. So it is showing two IPs over here. It means it is configured successfully. And now we need to check using the curl command. It is showing 54. Okay. Let me do this IP, right? Let me do it on this one because it is a host name. IP we are getting same thing we are doing, but just running in both way. Sorry, we got some spelling mistake. Kernel, right? You can see here we are getting the output here. This is our the file HTML file which is exposed here. It means it is working fine, so we can directly run with using the external IP. Let me show you again. See, so I am copying directly. We can run using this or that IP address. Both things we can do it. I am just running with that that host name. Just let me run it here. See, this is directly. I'm writing some comment over here, and I'm publishing it, right? You can see it is stored in the database, right? Same thing, it is working. We can give the multiple EKS, right? You can see it is working fine here. And as I told in the last video, we can access the same with our node port IP. So let's access with this IP. This is 30,000, right? So we need the node. We have two nodes here. You can see in the instance, I'm going here. And this is the public IP. For that, for node 1, I am just doing 30,000 here. Let me check directly because it is running on that. I think it is not running over here because we are taking the public IP address here. Let's check on the node 2. Maybe some port opening issue is there. Maybe it is not working, but it is working with the load balancer IP. And in the PPT, you can see here, you can test with the external IP rightly, right? So we have done this deployment and tested successfully here, and it's showing some communication issue, right? Something. Still, it is not working here. Then I think some port opening issue in the AWS side. Just need to check that thing also. Just check it out, the security. What is the port? Let me check the port here. You can see here security groups is configured over here. So we can go and check it out in that inbound. You can see in the inbound only 22 ports is open. So I am just editing it, right? And I'm adding one more custom TCP. Oh, sorry, it's changing in the same one. Let me do it again. Yeah, edit inbound rule. I'm adding rule here. Custom TCP. I'm adding here 30,000 and accessible file everywhere 0.0.0/0 and just I'm saving it, right? So we have change in security groups and see which security group we have changed. Let me check. I think we have changed in one security group. Let me open it again. In second one, security group. And you can see here, yeah, we've added in the second one, right? It's showing in 30,000. So if we'll check in the second one, it should see, it should work, and it is picking the details from the database also. So we can using this with the node port IP also, and I'm adding something here from the node 2, right? And let me check we are getting in the if node 1 or not, right? It is not working still, so we need to go in that EC2 and we need to add some open that port, right? So I'm going there and selecting the node 1 security tab. This is security group. We can add another security. Oh, it is showing here. I think it is used by same one. I think it will also work. Let me try it once. Yeah, you can see here node 2 and this one, because same security group. This security group is used by both the system. This one. So we have added here and it is reflected in both one, right? So it is working with the public IP and the node port, or directly we can access with the load balancer URL. Okay, we can refresh it, then we will get it other thing. See, we are adding this one, we are getting node 2, right? So we have done for this demo, but in the last, actually we have created multiple resources here. So there is a process for removing this deletion process. So deletion process, we need to follow some sequence. First, we need to delete the node group, right? After that, we need to delete the cluster. And after, we can delete the client machine. And we can delete the CloudFormation stack. After that, it will delete the VPC. And in the last, we can delete the IAM role, which you created, right? So I will show you how to go and delete the node group. Just I'm going to the console, the EKS. You can see here EKS cluster. This is showing, right? See, this is showing our node group. So I am deleting directly from here. It is asking for terminating. It is asking for the name of the node group. Let me copy it first, and I'm deleting it. So let me paste it here and deleting it. You can see here deleting is started, right? And it will reflect directly here for deleting the instance EC2 dashboard. Let me refresh it. You can see here 3 instances we have created, and still it is not reflecting here. But after some time, it will reflect here, and it will delete the two node 1 and node 2 from that from here when it will delete it. Let me refresh it. It will take some time. So I'm pausing this video for the few minutes and again come back once it's deleted, right? Now you can see here in the node group, it is showing nothing, 0. And in the instance side, you can see here I'm refreshing, it is showing terminated, right? Both system T3 medium and 7, both nodes has been terminated, right? Now in the next step, we need to delete the EKS, right? So cluster is still active. We need to delete cluster from here, or directly we can go here and select it and we can delete it, right? So I'm deleting it from here. It is asking for the name EKS cluster. Now I'm deleting it. It is started again deleting, and it will take some time for deletion. Now in the next, we need to delete the client machine. So we need to go over in the here in I've selected this client machine and just terminate it. So termination is started. You can see it is shutting down, and we have done this portion and this portion, right? And this is still in progress, right? After that, we will go and delete the stack, CloudFormation stack, right? I will show you, and it will take time for 10 to 15 minutes. So I will just show you and we will close this video at that point, right? So just you can see here client machine is terminated successfully, but still in the EKS, you can see here, it is still deleting. Now you can see here, cluster is deleted and no, we're not able to see any cluster here. So we have done the cluster deletion. Now we need to delete the stack. And you can see here, stack name, this one, and we need to select and directly delete it. So I'm just deleting the stack. It will delete the VPC and other things which it is created. So I'm just deleting. You can see here, deletion in progress by stack, and it will take 10 to 15 minutes again. So I'm pausing this video here. No, I'm stopping this video here because we have done everything from this deletion process. Only we need to, after delete the IAM role, we can go and directly in IAM role is very easy. I will show you. In the roles, you can directly go select and delete it, delete role, right? Okay. So it's okay. And in the next video, we will discuss on the CI/CD pipeline with Jenkins, Docker image, and will deploy that Docker image to the Kubernetes cluster. So next video we will discuss on the part 5, and we have completed this part 4 video. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching this video.